All right, guys, welcome to the show. The time now is 10:46, just for reference, on the 23rd of December, 2023. Just for reference, please do use this. I want to talk a little bit about cycles, psychology, just human nature, basically. And I'm not having a go at anybody. I know a lot of you guys know that I come on sometimes and I just have a go at everyone. I'm not, right? I just want to talk a little bit about certain scenarios, right? Now, I've got a whole list of coins here on my display in my car. And I want to talk about scenarios that could have happened, would have happened, should have happened if people reacted in a particular way during a part of the cycle in the market where things were bloody. So if we rewind back, so this is like a year in date, right? So year to date. So if we rewind back this time last year, right? We were kind of in a bearish situation where the market was bearish, everything was bloody. And we wanted to pick our coins. So we talked about pick your coins, stick to your coins, and XYZ. Many coins were mentioned at that time, right? Many coins were mentioned, right? And, I've had community members come and say, would you think about this coin? Would you think about this coin? And all I've said was pick your coins and stick to your coins. Now, some of those coins I'm looking at right now, I've had people say to me, would you think about Casper, right? KAS, buy it, pick your coins and stick your coin. Today it's about currently showing 2000% if someone picked it up then, right? That's 20x, right? Let's just say that. Some people talked about Render, RNDR. Today I'm looking at it, it's 1000% from where it was, right? Solana, we talked about this, I'm not going to repeat myself. Today it's showing at 844% from where we were at the bottom of the market this time last year. So this is what we're talking about, right? We've had people talking about Injective Protocol, looking at it 2975%. So I'm just smiling because a lot of these coins we have talked about. We talked about Blockstacks, 530%. We talked about AVAX, currently 300%. We talked about GRT, 215%, right? We talked about ICP, 148%. We talked about Near Protocol, 170%, right? So there are plenty of these coins out there doing all sorts of stuff. Immutable X, 471%. Conflux, 728%. So anyway, I'm going to stop there, right? But the point is, I'm just going like year, like I don't want to even look at the daily, weekly, because obviously the daily pumps, weekly pumps are confusing, right? But just looking at this. Now, the numbers that you've seen me throw out there, of course, some of them are ridiculous, like 2,900%. That's a ridiculous number, of course it is, right? Unbelievable numbers. But the point is if you picked those coins in the bloodiest of times, then these are the numbers that you would have seen. And that's when you hodl. You buy during the bloodiest time possible. You should be excited when you buy the bloodiest time possible, right? So when the market is bloody, everybody's crying, people have lost money, my God, this is down. That's when you deploy. And you don't have to deploy too much, because think about it. During the pump cycles, right? You come in and you put in $100. Well, the pump's already happening. So you might not really make much, or maybe you might just briefly make a lot of money. If you don't exit, then you lose a lot, right? But during the bloodiest time, how bloody can it be? So the psychology has to be like, okay, this is bloody. This is what I'm going to make. This is pretty much what Warren Buffett does, right? You buy when there's blood on the street, right? So that's why you go out there and you buy when there's blood on the streets, right? And you hodl. That's what you hodl. You don't hodl during a bull cycle or a bull run. You don't hodl. You want to now start thinking about cashing out, right? So I know one of the brother who was talking about this time, he wants to start DCAing out, right? Which is fine. He wants to DCA out. That's a good plan, right? And I don't disagree with that. I say it's a good plan, right? You should always have a plan. So remember, I always talk about this. I always say you have to have discipline, risk, like risk management and strategy, right? So if you have all of those things in place, like all three of them connections, like you have this triangle, right? You've got to have your discipline, which means you make set rules and you don't break those rules, right? You say, okay, today the market is bloody. I want to buy right now. You buy, you press that button, you bought it, right? And then you have your strategy. It's like, okay, if it goes 5% down, I might exit. If it goes 10% up, I might exit. Whatever your strategy is, right? You stay there, you stick with it. Whether it's a hodling strategy, you do it during the bear market. You don't do it during the bull market, right? And then your risk management, right? So risk management kind of factors into that discipline and strategy part as well, because risk management is, am I willing to lose 5% of my money if the market goes down even further? And on the upside, how much am I going to make? So you're doing this calculation and you're saying, right, this is the rules I make. based on those rules, when you press the button, you assume you've lost the money until you've made profit, right? I always say this: when you've pressed a button to buy something, you assume it's a loss until you make profit, because until you've cashed out 10%, 20%, 100%, 1,000%, right, on top of whatever you've invested, you're not really in profit, because unless you do P&L, it's not profit. Do you know what I mean, right? So very important thing to understand. So that's how I'm looking at it. It's like the whole psychology behind the markets, right? So obviously for me, I'm quite weird in that sense, right? So I get really excited when we're in a bear market. I'm like, whoa, bro, this is the time to buy, right? So you get really excited. You want to buy as many coins as you can. And believe me, I'm not perfect. I also make mistakes as well. There are coins that I won't buy, right? Just because I didn't want to buy, or just because it's not part of the strategy that I have. And my strategy is not exactly perfect, and hence why I don't tell everybody that this is the strategy you should follow. The strategy is, look, there's millions of coins out there, right? Just imagine exchange has 10,000 coins there. You're not going to go and buy all 10,000 coins. So you go and you pick your favorite coins, or the ones that you think that, have a good market cap, have a good community, have a good number of holding. Those are the coins that will make you money, right? So this is how I look at certain things, right? And I say, these are the coins I'm going to pick. So, out of 10,000, I'll probably pick 10 coins. And I'll say, right, that's what I'm going to split my funds towards, diversify my funds, and then hope they move up. Now, out of them, a lot of them don't. Just moments ago, someone mentioned about Crow, Crypto.com. How Crow didn't really move much, right? Crow's currently sitting at about 10 cents. It really hasn't done much, right? And it's true. Crow is still 90% below its all-time high, right? And I'm looking at this and I'm like, okay, hold on. This is pretty much the same thing. And I did think about it, because I actually, just before this person mentioned it, I was looking at Crow chart as well. So I was on my charts, looking at the charts, right? And I said to myself, I said, hold on, I've noticed something. Previous season, right, we had exchanges doing all sorts of marketing and this and that. How come they haven't done anything this time, right? What's going on? They haven't made any big announcements or anything like this, because they usually do this pretty much near to the end. They usually start pumping out crazy stuff. But I have to be realistic, because I do know the regulations have caught up with them, so they're not really allowed to market certain things or do certain things, which is fine by me. And what I'm seeing instead is these exchanges don't give a shit anymore, because all they're doing is just listing shitcoins, right? And they're making money out of the shitcoins. So they're not really concerned if their coin goes up or down. Do you know what I mean? If their coin now goes to $1, $10, whatever, that's just pure public doing it, which is fine. And I think that's fair. They don't have to market it, because they're making a lot more money through these exchange listings. Because believe me, there's so many projects being listed every day. When I look at it, I'm like, what the fuck? What's going on? I haven't even heard a single announcement from these projects or anything. All of a sudden, some random project comes up, right? And it's now listed there, right? Also, Bobby mentioned this earlier on as well regarding DeSo, right? We talked about DeSo. So I'm kind of just recapping what we talked about, but trying to give a little bit of context as well. So DeSo, a coin pumped, right, big time today. I forgot what DeSo did. Well, I might have it here somewhere. Give me a second. Let me just see if I can find it. DeSo. I think DeSo was on... Oh, sorry. DeSo was on the top 200, because it's not part of the top 100. So DeSo was on the top 200. Yeah, DeSo, it did 249%, right? Just like some stupid amount of money. It did, in fact, in a week, it done like 49%, almost 50% in a week, right? So when you look at DeSo, a coin, this total market cap, original high market cap was around 100, the all-time high price was $187, right? And then it dumped all the way to the bottom, like $5 or something stupid like this. So around that time, I couldn't get the perfect bottom, but I did pick up some at $6, right? And then when I looked at the tokenomics, so I kind of FOMO'd in, right? And I bought it. And then I looked at the tokenomics. It looked really, really good. It was around $8. So I bought some more. And I said, right, I'm going to buy some more. And then a little while later, I think it was like a week or two later, after I kind of went through, because I didn't really go through the entire project, but I went through the project and I said, whoa, okay, this is really good. And you can build fundraising projects on it. So it's like a open fund, right? It's called open fund anyway. So I decided to go and launch a fundraiser for the Parallaxes token that we just given away. I decided to launch a fundraiser for that. And I listed some tokens and I shared it with the community. I said, guys, go ahead, do whatever you want to do. There's a lot of things we can change, get back input and this and that. But of course, the market was in a bear market. So a lot of people didn't really think twice, right? So I went ahead, I've done the coin. I even bought some of my own coin and I left it there. I bought some DeSo, some more DeSo, and just left it there, right? And today I'm seeing this, like I just opened my bags and I'm, oh, well, what the hell's going on? Because it was in my decentralized wallet. So all of a sudden now I'm seeing this, the price of these coins have just jumped up big time, right? So, it's worth a lot of money. I'm like, wow, okay, I've just made a shit ton of money. Happy days, right? I'm going to go and have a party. And the funny thing is, for me, I'm having a great time here because I'm seeing some of the coins that I didn't touch. I just left it and forget about it. Because I have this situation where I will purposely buy coins for a hodling portfolio, right? And that's what I call a hodl portfolio. It means 5 years, 10 years down the line. Then there are these coins that I will buy during the bloodiest of times, right? Which I will buy and I will just forget, right? There's a massive rule behind that. I buy and I forget, right? Because the tokenomics, the distribution, everything just looks wow. You know what I mean? So when you see that and you're like, okay, this has a potential, and then you see who's backing them and what's really going on, you're like, I want to be on this project, right? So I bought it and I just forgot about it. And I told everybody, I said, guys, just buy and forget. Just buy and forget, right? So that's what I said. And I mean, they can go and check it on Discord history. That's exactly what I said. So buy, forget. And that's what I did, right? I bought and forgot. And then obviously I have my liquid capital, which is basically me going in and out, in and out. That's what I'm doing, right? This is my trading portfolio. So trading, I'm not doing anything at the present moment. I've mentioned this on many videos now. I'm not doing it. I'm just holding back. But I see all these gains in my kind of forgotten wallets, right? Or forgotten coins. And then my hodling portfolio, I'm like, not a bad treat, right? So I ain't complaining. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, for me, it's just been really, really fantastic. I'm not complaining at all. But guys, again, coming back to the psychology, right? So obviously during the bloody cycle, we want to be excited. That's the type of psychology we should have, right? And then when we start seeing these parabolic moves, and especially when we start seeing on a daily chart, when we start seeing some stupid meme coins, right, pumping hard, right? When you see ELF, all right, pumping high, when you see, I don't know, a coin called Chill pumping high, Corgi AI pumping high, you got to start being worried, right? And that's how I'm looking. I'm just like, okay, hold on, this is kind of dangerous. What's really going on here? Do you know what I mean? So I am kind of worried about that. Now, somebody did ask something about Shiba, and I want to mention about Shiba as well. In fact, I'm going to bring up Shiba to talk about it because very important, right? When you look at Shiba, you would understand. So SHIB. I'm going to go to SHIB for now, and I want to talk about SHIB a little bit. It will, there's a lot going on with SHIB. So SHIB originally started as a meme coin. It started in the Ethereum blockchain. We know the drama about how it gave like 50% of the supply or some stupid amount to Vitalik Buterin. Vitalik Buterin then decided to donate it, pretty much gave it the limelight, right? Gave it the highlight, and it is where it is now, right? So, that's what SHIB did. Fantastic, right? It even ended up going to a very high number. I think it was like one of the top 20 in the total market cap. So again, fantastic things going on, right? I'm going to switch this off because that thing is very bright. So it went to like to the top 20 of the market cap as well. So again, fantastic, brilliant. I ain't complaining, right? But obviously there's a lot of drama, there's a lot of supply, the price is not high, people got wrecked, a lot of people got wrecked after all the dumping and everything. So since then they announced they're going to do the DEX. They did the DEX, and then they said, we're going to do Shibarium, which is their own blockchain, right? They launched their own blockchain. Great. Again, everything's fantastic. So all of this is good. And then they said they're going to start burning, and they are burning, right? I'm not sure how much they're burning or how fast they're burning, but regardless, even if they burn over the next 10 years, it's a good thing, right? It's burning. So, someone mentioned, like, is there any chances of them knocking off a few zeros? Possibly. I mean, they could do things faster if they want. I mean, I don't know how they're doing it right now, but if I was them, and if there was a liquid amount of supply sitting in liquidity or wherever, I'll go and slash it from there. Do you know what I mean? Because the supply they gave, it makes sense for a meme coin. Yeah, a ridiculous amount of supply is required for a meme coin, right? They did that, but I think they overdid it, right? I think they overdid it. Hence why, like people who lost money, they lost a lot of money, right? Because people were buying at the top, not realizing that SHIB, a single decimal point could wreck it. It's a lot of money. Like when you look at zero, right, 0.000001, for example, right? If you knock off 1 0, that's like 100%. People don't realize that. That's a lot of percentage. So SHIB, for it to get to, like, say, for example, a penny, right? It has to pump like 100,000%, right? Or something stupid like this, based on the current market price and the current number of coins available, right? Or something stupid like that. Anyway, just don't take my word for it. I'm just being hypothetical here. But the point is that's how stupid it is. When you see all that zeros, every zero is like 100%, right? So you got to get rid of that 0%, right? That zero, those zeros, right? So it's like 100%, right? So understand this, every zero, treat it like 100%. So thousands of percent have to be done in order for SHIB to get back to where it needs to. And in order for those numbers to shrink, we definitely need to see more and more burn, all right? And the burn would then create some sort of a demand, hopefully. But again, one other thing I want you guys to be realistic, understand as well, and just be realistic as well, is look, these coins, meme coins or meme blockchains or whatever, they'll come and go. They'll come and go. Listen, they're coming even now, right? I mean, I was sitting on Twitter the other day. No joke. I wasn't even reading any tweets. I'm just sitting there, just observing the chats that come up, right? My feed. And I do follow Solana, so I was looking at Solana feeds come up to me, and I was saying so many Solana projects, like I think I saw like 3 in an hour, brand new, 3 in an hour, drop your wallet, boom, boom, boom. And these projects were pumping. So clearly the developers were doing something. By the way, the reason I was doing that, right? You're going to think, what the hell was this weirdo doing sitting on Twitter watching? I'm doing research, guys. Sometimes you got to learn from others. All right. Now, your intention is what matters, whether you have a good intention or a bad intention, right? But you have to learn from others, right? So I want to see, right, hold on, how are these marketing guys doing it? How are these scam projects going out there and raising all of these funds and doing all of these things? How are they doing it? I need to learn, right? So I'm sitting there and I'm observing. I'm like, okay, so that's how you do it, right? So this unknown wallet has a brand, comes and launches on Twitter, says, right, we're giving away XYZ, and they show these evidence and proof and whatnot. And I realized certain things. I'm like, okay, so I might be doing it slightly wrong. These guys are definitely doing it right. Of course, the intention is different. They might have a bad intention or maybe a good intention, doesn't matter. And I always say this, most projects that come out, they are all shit coins until they become a good coin. I've always said this, right? Why are they a shit coin? Because they may not succeed, right? Guys, if they don't succeed, then they end up being a shit coin, right? They don't necessarily have to be a rug. Now, rugs are usually genuine rugs where these guys are intentionally coming to rug you, right? Now, that's happening less and less now, which is really, really good. Of course, on some chains, it's happening more than others. Like BSC, a lot of rugs happen there, right? I've even noticed Matic, some rugs happening there. Solana, I haven't seen many yet, but I do know some have happened, right? But not many have happened yet. So again, point is you're getting all of these projects coming out. They're shit coins. People are dropping their Solanas, right? Some guy says, we're going to, we need 5,000 Solanas. At that time, 5,000 Solanas was nothing. But when they're buying and they're sending and selling, it's increasing the price and moving the thing forward. And of course, the project would be great, no problem, as long as it survives. And if it doesn't survive, if everyone decides to dump or some whale comes and dumps, then it's going back to the ground, right? So I'm doing a lot of research right now, a lot of research. And funny thing is I'm kind of ready. I'll be honest with you. So I've been looking at projects. I've been thinking about projects. I've got like 3 projects lined up. One, I've already launched the token, but I'm doing a token airdrop, right? Sometime in January, I'm doing a token airdrop. So that's one project I'm doing. Another project, I've done the white paper. I've given the white paper for review to a professional, so they're going to do their bits and bobs. Once they review it, then they're going to come back and then I'm going to publish that one. But when I'm going to publish it, it's going to be more of a that one we are selling, that token we are selling, so that one's going to be different because that one's more of a company. It's not really a project. It's more of a decentralized company, a decentralized project, you want to call it. So there's a future for that, right, in a whole different way. The decentralized, the first one we're doing is a decentralized, I want to make it into an exchange, so that's a different one as well. But then there's a third one as well that I want to do, and I thought about it, and I thought, right, shall I get in and shall I go and do this or shall I not? But again, I don't want to do anything without the community support, right? But I don't have members coming forward saying that I have the support. So anything I do now, it seems like I'm doing it on my own, and I'm like, I'm doing it on my own, but for what? For who? Do I really need a crypto project? Does that make sense, right? Because I'm happy with whatever I'm making from the buys and the sells that I'm doing, right? or any crypto that I'm hodling, I'm doing all right, right? I'm doing all right. I'm not suffering. There's nothing here. I'm not bleeding out, anything like this. So I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, I want to do a project, right? And I hope for the project to do really, really well. And I hope everybody makes a shit ton of money out of it. But if I have immediate people, are they going to support me to do this? Do you know what I mean? So I don't know, right? I don't know. And I'm thinking, should I do it? Should I not, right? But usually during a hype cycle, projects benefit a lot. That's something I know. I've just realized, as I said, I've been doing a lot of research. I've been sitting down doing a lot of research, right? You know, CoinMarketCap, CoinGecko, exchanges and XYZ, right? And listing on an exchange is not cheap, right? But the funny thing is if your project has XYZ amount of holders, buyers, interested parties, and XYZ, right? If you have XYZ followers on Twitter, XYZ, right? Then CoinMarketCap, they'll list your coin. CoinGecko will list your coin. Even exchanges will list your coin for free. Would you believe that? That's the reality. They will list it for free. So even though these centralized fuckers, right, excuse my language, but that's the truth, right? They like to bleed you, take as much money as possible from you, like $100,000 for a listing fee. They don't care if it's a shit coin because they want their money up front, right? They would actually list the coin if it has enough potential, like Bonk and this and that, right? They don't have to pay nothing, but they will go there. Well, that's what I'm just saying. Maybe they did pay. I don't know, right? But the point is as I said like before as well, some of these are centralized anyway. But the point is they do actually give opportunities, like a lot of these exchanges, because it's about competition. It's about, right, who takes this first, right? Who's going to be the one that's going to be listing this and then pumping it and making the fees out? Because exchanges don't care. Remember, exchanges don't care if the coin performs well or not, right? They just want to make the fees. And provided enough people are interested and it's a legit project or legit enough, they're okay with it, right? I've seen plenty of projects on exchanges do a rug. Do you know what I mean? So, end of the day, there are opportunities out there where, you know, I think a lot of people can do a lot of stuff, right? But yeah, that's all I wanted to say. I don't want to say anything else, honestly. That's what I want to say. Yeah, I mean, SHIB's an interesting one. SHIB's an interesting one. I mean, I would love to do something similar to SHIB. But obviously I'm not Satoshi Kasuma, who's hiding in the shadows. That's not me, right? I'm not going to be any of those guys, that's for sure. So yeah, it all depends. You know, it all depends on how people feel and what people think and what people want to do. As I said, like I've got quite a few ideas I want to do, but I don't want to do all of them because doing them means that I make money or you make money or everybody makes money. No, I don't want to do it that's not the right reason. It's not the reason for me. Is not about making money. I'm making enough money doing trading right now, right? I'm making enough money doing consulting right now, so I'm doing all right. Do you know what I mean? But when it comes to these projects, I want to do it for a reason. The first one, the reason is I'm hating these decentralized people calling it decentralized exchange, but they're freaking centralized. So I said, that's what it's going to be, something that's not centralized, right? So I want to do that. There's a meaning behind that. There's a reason behind that. I wanted to do a meme coin, but a meme coin that has actual utility and actual use case, right? So that's what I want to do, right? Honestly, originally I was going to do one project, but I realized that doing one project doesn't work. So I want to do 2-3 separate projects, right? And then I thought, right, you know, why don't we do something else as well? So each one would have its own purpose, own utility. That's how I'm looking at it. I'm like, okay, let's give this utility. Let's give this a use case. Probably they benefit each other. Probably they don't. But ultimately, I don't want to do anything for myself. That's the key here, right? You know, if I do it for the community, then I also need to know the community is backing me up on doing this. If they're not, then I ain't doing it. You know what I mean? I ain't doing it. So, but let's see what happens. Let's see what happens, right? You know, like the second project that I'm looking at, that one, a lot of people are interested. A lot of people that I know, you know, big people, right? People who have influence, right? They're really involved in this. But I have mentioned this clearly. I said, look, whatever happens, I don't want no VCs. I don't want none of that business. I don't mind having community venture, like community seed fund or whatever investments, but I do not want to see any centralized, because a lot of these guys are connected to centralized things. I said, I'll take your funds as a seed investor, but I won't take your company's funds, right? I don't want some VC coming in. You know, I'll take your money from your banking thing, but or even your banking pals, but I'm not going to do it in the way that the institutions do it, because that's not how I want to do it. You want to do it the decentralized way, or set up a wallet, you drop it there, and we do it by a smart contract. We don't want to see this kind of a pen and paper legal malarkey or none of that nonsense, right? Because we don't want that kind of centralization in our project. Do you know what I mean? Because that's how they come in. You give them an arm, they're like, you give them a finger, they want your entire arm. They want to bite it off, right? It's like, nah, mate, it ain't happening, right? You can be a shark for all that you want. That's not going to happen. So yeah, I mean, other than that, I don't want to say anything else. I just wanted to kind of just talk about this, like psychology, guys. Psychology is very important, right? So let me just kind of reiterate what I just said. Look, whenever the market's bloody, good time to buy. When the market's green and it's pumping, take precautions or steps to protect any profits you've made. That's all I want to say, nothing else. Do whatever you want, of course. Do whatever you want to do, right? And as I said, if the community, I don't care how many people, I don't care if it's 5 people, if it's 10 people, if it's 20, I don't care if it's 1 million people, it doesn't matter. If the community come and support what I want to do, right, and say, Sham, we got your back if you're going to launch this, I'll launch something and we'll have a bit of fun, right? I think there's opportunities, guys. If you're not going to take it, then be silent forever, because you know what, you're never going to make it. That's all I'm going to say. All right, on that note, I'm going to leave you. All right, adios, my amigos.